How's it going, everyone? This is My Haunting, where we are finally at Michael's. They finally have their Halloween stuff in store. Yes, and this is where Halloween lives here. So we are going to check it out because I have been going by this store multiple weeks and they had a few things, but they had said, at one time, they told me, oh, we may not get some of the vintage stuff. Well, they finally got it. And so we are definitely going to go take a look. So stay tuned. Alright, so we are going to start it off with these skeletons here. I actually really like this golfer one. Me and my dad, well, my whole family, we are big golfers. These are kind of enjoyable, they're cutesy. Of course, there's the Lamac Spooky Town. I absolutely love this lineup. I don't do too many of the businesses, so I didn't get much from it, but here you have the rave. They're all dancing. It's like a disco theme. Very cool, very well done. There you have a coffin parlor. I love that, especially with the vampire coming up out of the top. That is fantastic. You have a haunted house here, like a trick-or-treat neighborhood house. You have a Clockworks house. That is cool, especially with the spinning clocks. You have the shops, haunted house. Obviously, it's like a plant place. You have this very cool, like, mausoleum with the ghost flying above it. The ghost reminds me of Scooby-Doo, especially the green tint. You have this old lady that lives in the shoe type thing. I love this kind of like haunted house area the guys are running from. You have their accessories. They have tons of those. Then you have the other side here. You have like a church mausoleum area. That was really cool, really well done. I like the stained glass. You have this, full moon bar. They have a whole like werewolf theme, especially Mortician. There's the Silver Slink Saloon, werewolf coming out of it. This gypsy little fortune teller thing. Seance services, that was really cool with the little handhold Ouija board thing going back and forth. Halloween Jamboree, and then one of my favorite houses, that one right there, just a haunted house. You have a film video area with like nightmare films. That was really cool. Yeah, I might have to pick some of those up. Now we have this Romeo and Juliet section, which it's not my thing. I had enough of Romeo and Juliet in high school. I had that just too much from teachers. But it's very well done. Obviously, Michael's is sticking with like their eternal love type scene and stuff like that. It's cool. Especially like if you pulled this out around like Valentine's Day, if you were into that type of thing. They have Hamlet, Shakespeare. Obviously, they're going for the Shakespeare type vibe here. This fuzzy like box container is cool. A little skull on it. Obviously, it's like till death do us part type eternal love section here. These candle holders are pretty cool. I like those a lot. These keys, I love these keys here. Love old brass keys. Obviously, there's the man himself, Shakespeare. Eternity with you, Halo. Alrighty, we're all, we'll find our ways apart, blah, 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 blah. Scales. Obviously, here's my next. So they got into the outdoor decor too. We'll get to that in a second. Here is their vintage stuff that I was really excited. Here's this spooky sign I love. I probably would have painted the eyes dark on those just to make them, all one. I love these little countdown calendars. The spooky candles, ghost. Let's see, they have these little candy holders that are cool. Obviously, all this reminds me of just right from the 1950s, the Halloween vintage decor. They have this countdown calendar. It's like a wall art. That I really like. It's like a, scaredy black cat. Now let's move it to number 1 here. First day of October. More pumpkins, vases. It's the most wonderful time of the year. More boxes. They have more candy holders. Then they have this carnival theme, so obviously they're going for like the spooky carnival, Halloween type fall festival. I absolutely love it. It reminds me definitely of the Cedar Point. Popcorn, prizes, treats, soda pop. Here's this calendar here. It's like an old advent calendar. It's wooden. Happy Halloween up the top. It's a circus tent. It's like $45. It's not bad. More soda pop. Little ghost type things, scaredy cat, black cats, skeletons, pumpkin heads that are like They're empty in the middle, they're hollow, so obviously you'd fill them full of candy. They're really cool. I love this bat sign right there. The bat on it is just really well done. The scaredy cat. I mean, look at the way the detail they put into this bat. I don't know. That got me. It was only like maybe 20 bucks. I was like, man, I should probably buy that. I love the pumpkin pillows up there. Obviously, you have more pillows. Vintage definitely is their theme they're going for in this aisle. Alright, here's some of their tombstones. Real quick through those. It looks like, yeah, so honestly, I had to go back and do this aisle again, just because there was stuff I missed the first time that, I wanted another look through, because this is something that I was waiting for them to do. It's one of my favorite themes, is the vintage type Halloween decor, so I was very excited when I saw that was coming up. Obviously, more candy holders. There's that sign again. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything the first time. I mean, they have prizes, trick or treat, popcorn. What I like is they have these little arcade games. So here's like a little bowling set. That's really well done. Just for like decor, and if you're doing like a whole vintage carnival, like a party at your house, this is definitely the section to go to. I mean, more like scaredy cat, like holders for like drinks, or say like we did jello shots. Just all vintage good stuff. Now here we have like their little decor, like if you're making like wreaths, like the hang on your front door, they have like the little accessories you can put in them. They always kind of have these every year. They're cool to see. Just their little trinkets here. You got your glassware. You can put stuff in this glassware, hang it from like your windows and stuff, have the light shine through. That's nice. Some of the stuff, it's pretty cool. I like the little pumpkins, obviously your little wreath stuff again. So that it's not bad. I don't really do a wreath, but their go away sign, that's funny. Stick that on your front door. And they have more of like their little village stuff. It's not Lamax, but it's their own type of village line. I absolutely love these. Little pumpkin pails, obviously there's your vintage Halloween again. This pulled me back to my childhood, these little pumpkin buckets. More little vintage trinkets here, little Halloween trinkets you can put around your village. Now this house I absolutely love. This is it'd be something cool to have on the shelf. I love the look of it. It's simple. It doesn't light up. Well, it does light up. It wasn't lighting up today, but still very well done. I think it was only like 20 bucks. Alright, let's see what else they got. Obviously, their pumpkins and stuff. They have their more glassworks and stuff here. More, you can put like glass, like trinkets in it, or not glass trinkets, but trinkets in the glass. That's cool to have like on like a coffee table or something. They have more like beakers and stuff. I love these bats. I have a couple of those at home. Your vulture, your skulls, those are pretty creepy. Then they have these skeletons. I love the one covering his face, in shock. A little gazebo made out of skulls and skeletons. Yeah, let's see the skeleton here. I like him a lot. Like a planter, if you stuck something in him. You have that widowed, bride statue. That's classic. More witch-like type of cats and like shoes. Obviously, you have like your foliage, that your garland, like you do for Christmas, but obviously for Halloween. More wreaths and stuff. Now let's get over to they had actually a section that surprised me a lot. Was a very cool like outdoor Halloween decor that I did not expect. Normally they do the indoor decor, and obviously they did not skimp on the gore. There's like obviously your classic like 90s style, like just very really cool stuff. Let's see this frog here. He lights up if you did like a witch theme or like a haunted bog or just a swamp area. You have your skeletons and your bones, body parts. They have these little ornaments if you did like a haunted tree. These skeleton guys that hang. They have like some snakes, rubber snakes, cats, frogs. I love these little signs here, like the little self-changing signs. Those are always really cool. All right, you got your skeletons here. Obviously, your different animals, your reptiles, lizards, skulls, little cheap little dollar store stuff. Praying mantis was cool right there. Green skeletons, pirate skeletons, all your stuff that you could ever want. More skulls, very well done. Giant skull here, your dog, your skeletons, your eyeballs, anything you could ever want, pretty much. Here we have this witch section I thought was really cool. It's like all haunted. Here's your mirror, it's all dirty. Your classic telephone. I love the look of that. Reminds me of some of the Target decor they have. These absolutely lamps I absolutely love. I would buy some of these and stick like a little tea light in them. They're old vintage lamps that you could walk around or just have sitting in your house. Very well done. They're not expensive. You can buy the real ones, but that's a cheap way to get them. Obviously, you have your clocks, your black cats, more stuff like that around here. Your pillows. Obviously, they're going for the witch theme hard here. Obviously, I like their little vase set, or like here's their experiments. Here's your skulls and your mushrooms, your swamp stuff. Just awesome stuff to see. If you're into your witch vibe, your spell room, old school bats. Here's your broomsticks, your key set. I love the key set once again. Just great stuff this year. They have their cages, if you want a witch vibe, definitely go to Michael's because they have everything. And then, of course, we have this. Okay, this is their Summerween trend, which obviously we know they had to do something. It's not as big as last year, which thankfully, but yeah, it's not my thing. I mean, it's okay, it's cutesy, but I think they learned from last year it didn't sell as much. I mean, I don't know, I don't think it did, but it's okay. The spooky juice is kind of funny, but yeah, we're gonna kind of just skip that section. You have your vintage foam pumpkins, you can carve those, and then you have your magic section. Now this is what I like. It's all like, Houdini and illusion. It's kind of that type of magic, that Halloween section that doesn't get talked about too much. Your palm reading, your spirit guides. I haven't seen too much decor this round, so just to see this is really well done. Your mystic parlor, your Ouija board stuff. We're gonna skip that section. Oh my goodness, look at that. Just no. I'm sorry. I had to just look at it. And look at this. Look, you have your separating boxes with the woman in it with just illusion. That old school Houdini that I absolutely love. I grew up as a kid loving magic, so this was really well done. I had to pick up a couple pieces. Your abracadabra, seance. This guy right here, actually, I picked up for myself. The exposed, sawing a lady in half. Just a really cool, artwork and stuff you can hang around the house. Illusion. More table sets. These I actually love. These are vintage, magic type of vaudeville posters you would see at your carnival. Here's more of the separating lady box. Obviously, your sword casket thing. Sorry, I'm going faster than I can talk. Your candles. More pumpkins here. And we're going to get into one of my favorite sections. This is like the vintage Halloween. I absolutely love those owls. More like frames and stuff. More, golden, literally dead. This steel crow. Just, this section to me was awesome. It was just haunted. I love this picture frame here. Just something you could just hang up in your house that would say, I love haunted stuff or spooky. Now we're getting into the haunted speakeasy stuff. You have your shot, or your shots, your martini glasses. They have a bench down there below. You have a little coaster table holder you can set by your chair. This is actually kind of false leather, but it's cushy. Just really cool, speakeasy stuff. Here's more of your haunted stuff. I love these arches right here. Those would go really cool in the house. Just your haunted section. I don't really know if it has a name. And then yeah, there's that vintage. We're gonna go through one more time on this, just a little slower. I don't like snakes, but those are pretty cool. Thankfully we live in Michigan, we don't have too many, especially not venomous ones. Here's more of your framework. Really cool haunted framework. I love this picture right here. more like haunted photos here and roses and stuff, and your clock. I love that. These owls, I'm gonna have to pick one of these up. I absolutely love owls, and I need more in my life. This haunted like doll area or haunted house. It's like a little. It reminded me a lot of like the I Spy books growing up, the Halloween one. This more like golden candlesticks, literally dead signs. Welcome to our haunted home. This archway, of course, it reminds me of haunted like cathedral or old style like churches how they used to have, especially over in Europe. This till death, more candlesticks, more archway windows. You could have those in your house. Fantastic. Just all your glasswork stuff here, your beakers, just like vases and stuff you can put stuff in or just display on shelves. Your old style like flowers all wilted.
Oh my God, that is how you do Halloween right there, Michaels. Holy crap. That is probably one of their best years I have ever seen. They had like a haunted speakeasy, with like bar stools and like, you know, their drinks and stuff like that. They had their Romeo and Juliet, which was okay. I got a ton of that in high school, so I'm good. I don't need more Romeo and Juliet in my life, but it was cool. They had your vintage Halloween, which was fantastic. That was amazing. That reminded me a lot of Cedar Point Halloween Weekends. They used to do a like a vintage Halloween section of their park, and it was like all carnival games and just pumpkins, ghosts, you know, the classic black cat. And it was, oh gosh, I can't believe I can't remember it. All I remember is I can't remember the title, but all I can remember is it said, there's a time to sow and a time to reap. And it was like this cool, like vintage section. That reminded me of that immediately. That was cool. I wanted to buy so many pieces from there. And yes, it is a little expensive right now. So I'm going to definitely wait till they're on clearance, because holy cow. They have just so much stuff that you could easily just put in your house, like for decor. They had like a cool witch like type of spell binding thing. They had just really cool haunted decor, like anything you could ever want. They had their Lamac Spooky Town all lit up. This is what I was waiting for, because I had gone to Michael's probably 3-4 times, and then finally it was all out in its glorious display. So that was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to go back to that store. I'm going to definitely look for some more. They had just so much stuff. Oh my goodness. And definitely Home Depot, if you can't see it. Home Depot, yeah, they're next, because I am waiting for Lowe's and Home Depot to put their stuff out. I've been, you know, hopefully should be within the next couple weeks. I'll do another video. I definitely love making these videos for you guys. You can see, you know, what these stores have, and just, I don't know, get to see in the Halloween spirit. That Michael's trip, holy crap. Like, you know, this year, it literally felt like it was October 1 minute, December, and then bam, we're already almost to October again. So that is exciting. You know, I can't wait. Once again, you know, this is my haunting, where Halloween lives here. I love doing these videos. If you guys love them too, please feel free to like and subscribe. You know, I'm going to come out with more, and have a great day, guys.